Right, before we dive into this royal legal smackdown, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and smash the notifications bell icon. Trust me, you'll want front row seats to all the royal drama we're serving up here at UK Informate. Now, let's get into it. Picture this. You've packed up the kids, escaped the relentless British press, and jetted off to the French Alps for what you hope will be a quiet family skiing holiday. You're thinking croissants, fresh powder, maybe a cheeky hot chocolate on a sun-drenched balcony. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? Now imagine some paparazzi with a telephoto lens the size of a small telescope perched on a distant mountain peak, snapping away like you're a rare species of exotic bird. Welcome to the glamorous life of the Prince and Princess of Wales, where privacy is apparently a mythical concept and your family holiday becomes someone else's front-page photo. Well, William and Catherine have had enough of this nonsense, and they've just delivered a proper legal walloping to Paris Match magazine. The French publication thought it would be terribly clever to print long-lens photographs of the royal family, George, Charlotte, and Louis included, frolicking on the slopes and relaxing at their chalet. Spoiler alert, the judge at Nanterre Judicial Court disagreed with Paris Match's definition of public interest journalism and ruled that these invasive snapshots were, in fact, a massive violation of the family's privacy rights. Here's where it gets properly satisfying. The court didn't just slap them on the wrist and send them on their way with a stern look. No, they made Paris Match publish a notice in their own magazine admitting they'd infringed upon the royals' private life and violated their image rights. That's the legal equivalent of making someone write, "I will not spy on royal families" 100 times on the blackboard. Absolutely brilliant. Now, you might be wondering why this matters. After all, aren't royals supposed to be public figures? Don't they sign up for constant scrutiny when they accept their tiaras and taxpayer-funded palaces? Well, yes and no. There's a rather important distinction between attending official engagements, where photographs are expected and appropriate, and having your private family time monetized by magazines who couldn't care less about boundaries. William and Catherine have made it crystal clear. Their children deserve to grow up without some creepy photographer with a massive lens documenting their every move like they're unwitting stars in a never-ending reality show. The really fascinating bit is how differently this plays out across borders. The British media has generally played ball, honoring an agreement that gives George, Charlotte, and Louis their privacy in exchange for occasional authorized photographs. It's a sensible arrangement, really. Everyone gets what they need without turning the children's lives into a circus. But international outlets, they've sometimes operated under the charming philosophy of different country, different rules, publish everything. This isn't the first time Paris Match has found itself in William and Catherine's legal crosshairs, either. Cast your mind back to 2012. Feels like yesterday, doesn't it, when the magazine's stablemate, Closer, published topless photographs of Catherine while she was holidaying at a private villa in southern France. Private villa. Private. The audacity was absolutely staggering. That legal battle dragged on like a particularly dull episode of EastEnders, but eventually, the couple were awarded tens of thousands in damages. Clearly, some publications need multiple lessons before the message sinks in. Kensington Palace's statement was deliciously firm, wasn't it? They described the April article as grossly intrusive, which in royal speak is practically the equivalent of shouting obscenities. The palace made it abundantly clear that William and Catherine will not hesitate to take such action as is necessary to enforce those boundaries. Translation: mess with our family again, and we'll see you in court faster than you can say long-lens paparazzi. What's genuinely refreshing about this entire situation is watching William and Catherine draw an unambiguous line in the sand. They're not asking for the moon. They're simply demanding what any parent would want: the ability to take their children on holiday without it becoming international entertainment. George is 12 now, Charlotte's 10, and Louis is 7. They're at ages where they should be building snowmen and learning to ski, not worrying about whether some photographer is lurking behind the nearest pine tree. The broader question this raises is rather thought-provoking. In an age where privacy feels increasingly like an endangered species and everyone's got a camera in their pocket, where do we draw the line? When does public interest become public intrusion? When does journalism become voyeurism? This court ruling suggests there are still some boundaries even the press cannot cross, and thank goodness for that. Paris Match can now add this legal defeat to their collection of questionable editorial decisions. One has to wonder what goes through an editor's mind when they decide to run such photographs. Do they genuinely believe they get away with it? Did they think William and Catherine would simply shrug and move on? Clearly, they miscalculated rather spectacularly. So what's next? Well, hopefully, this sends a clear message to publications worldwide that the Wales family isn't playing games when it comes to protecting their children's privacy. William grew up with cameras constantly in his face, documenting every awkward teenage phase and difficult moment. He watched his mother, Diana, hounded relentlessly by photographers until her tragic death. He knows exactly what unchecked media intrusion looks like, and is determined his children won't endure the same experience. This victory isn't just about one magazine or one set of photographs. It's about establishing precedent, defending boundaries, and ensuring that even in our increasingly voyeuristic culture, families, royal or otherwise, have the right to private moments without the world watching. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, keep it royal.